Thank you. First round. Judge have to break.
Yeah, so off we go then. So welcome to the beginning of the round of 16. Sit back and pour yourself a pot of coffee or a pot of tea and enjoy this match with us, because it's going to be quite something, I can tell you. Good win by Jack Lisowski yesterday, coming through in a decider against Zhou Yulong after being taken off at 4-4. But he came through handsomely to book his place in this round of 16. I'm looking forward to this, as I know for sure my colleague is Fergal, sorry, O'Brien. A very good morning to you, Fergal.
That's easy for you to say. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Very appealing players, attacking. Of course, great friends. There was a time when they lived together, but it was noticeable actually even in the handshake. It was very brief, barely looked at each other. So I said any friendship that they have is obviously being put aside. It's important, prestigious tournament they both want to win. And again, Jack had a great win yesterday from 4-1 down, so plenty to look forward to today.
Yes, he did it. He trailed 4-1 at one stage, didn't he, against Zhou Yulong. Back to 4-4, and as mentioned, get taken off. Came through handsomely to book his spot. The head-to-heads, incidentally, read unsurprisingly 10-5 to Judd, and he has won the last 3 meetings, all in finals actually. So yeah, but 5 wins for Jack Lisowski against his pal, so be no intimidation factor. But good to see Judd Trump playing well again. I thought he was excellent in that European Masters, Fergal, and because it's been a lean period. He's actually, I think in the last 2.5 years, he's only picked up 1 ranking event, which for Judd Trump, given that the previous 2.5 years to that, he won 13 of them. Yeah,
for a couple of years he said he was collecting them for fun. That has kind of dried up slightly. Made a good start to the season. He's already quite sharp between getting to the final and also playing the Championship League. He's already played like 14 matches this season. Only lost 1. He's had a few draws as well. So I'm sure during the summer he's had a little think of where his career has slipped a year or two, and also then what he needs to do. I think he'd been talking about maybe playing more matches. He tended to always play on his own. His brother be taking the balls out from him, and that's great, but even as good as he is, he still needs, I think, that match practice, and that's why maybe he was getting caught in the early rounds of some tournaments, just lacking that little bit of sharpness.
Yeah, I think this match, if it had been 10 years ago, would be a good old-fashioned tear-up, but there's going to be quite a bit of tactical comings and goings, I would think, in this match today.
Yeah, I think slowly but surely we have to, I said, that opinion we had of the pair of them just being all-out potter and attacking. And it wasn't just a case that they couldn't play safety, it was more just they couldn't be bothered playing safety, but I think that's, that's very much the past. Particularly Judd, he can't win all those tournaments with just playing amazing snooker all the time. You're going to need a good percentage tactical game, but still not lose that little bit of flair and positivity.
Yeah, it was quite under normal circumstances, quite a bad miss by Judd. I know it's early. Yeah, so both players not quite settled. It does take you a few shots. The good news for Judd, he's got an absolute sitter to get himself going this afternoon in Shanghai. Yeah, Jack knows it. That was a bad miss. Yes, it's best of 11 and plenty of time to settle, but you want to settle as quickly as you possibly can. Yeah, we do know that Judd enjoys playing out in China. He's a winner of 5 ranking events, all told, in China.
6. 10. $11.
I mentioned earlier, Judd is talking about playing more practice matches. I'm wondering who he has in mind. Does he play somebody that, does he go start playing with the likes of a Neil Robertson, real tournament rivals, or does he pick somebody maybe lower down the rankings you feel he might get more table time, or is he prepared to play somebody of the calibre that could give him a proper beating on the day, or does he feel that might
18.
be a sign of weakness with tournaments coming up?
$19.
Yeah, you have to get the balance right in that, don't you? The solo stuff and the match stuff. But crucially, you make a good point, I think, about the quality of your opponent, even in practice. It's good to take some pain and punishment on occasion, because it toughens you, doesn't it? It toughens you up for what's to come.
Yeah, it's kind of a balance. You want to be practicing with somebody that you'd have to play very well to beat them. But even if you didn't beat them, they've punished your mistakes and have identified the areas that need to work on. So
24.
the mistakes you've made in the practice matches, you've nearly got them out of the way. So come the tournament, you're just that little bit sharper. Whereas otherwise, if you don't have those, you're playing on your own. You think you're playing
25.
great, you could feel great, but just those little sharp, little bit of sharpness, little attention to details not there. You don't want to feel going into a tournament, particularly nowadays, well, if I win my first match or two, I'll be sharp, because you just can't afford to take that risk. You've got to be sharp from round one.
32. $33. $40.
Yeah, played the split quite well, didn't he, considering he a lot of angle to work with. Tad unlucky to leave this blind cut back. Talking of sharpness, this is a kind of shot that when you're sharp, you see that line properly, don't you? Yes, of course, he didn't play the pot, but
40.
those little shots are a good indication, don't you, how sharp you are generally.
Yeah, and of course, we're talking about solo practice. They're never a shot you'd practice. It's only through actually playing games that those kind of shots, whether you like them or not, keep coming up.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, isn't it? Whether you like it or not. Yeah, so Judd, as we know, is one of the best actually at most things, but certainly when he's got this kind of lead 30, 40, 50, he's fantastic at defending normally. Yeah, be disappointed with that. Hand on the bed. A chance for Jack to loosen the shoulders, perhaps.
Yeah, shot you'd fully expect Jack to be potting. I'm sure Judd, when he caught the brown there, feared the worst. But the win he had yesterday was more battling performance rather than playing fantastic snooker. Careless mistake by Judd there. Should have never left this potential red on for Jack.
worth another look. Yes, he was playing a tight cue ball, but yes, it quite crucial, wasn't it? The fact that it bought him a chance to push the yellow out of commission.
Both great potters, both attacking, but actually the difference today could well be who plays the better safety. I think the last year or so, since working with Peter Ebdon, you can definitely see a difference, and a good difference, in Jack Lisowski. Just that little bit more patience, a little more discipline, and just at certain times, just giving it a shot, just that extra second or two.
One.
Yeah, great pot that, wasn't it? So Judd has a cast iron grip. And this opening frame now more than enough.
8.
With the 3 reds in the open.
9. $16.
Yeah,
17.
that was beautiful touch, wasn't it? So 64 to the good. Means this red.
23.
Virtually secure, frame 1.
24.
Yeah, again, I thought he'd just looked super sharp in that European Masters campaign
31.
3 weeks ago. Played brilliantly out there. A couple of comeback wins, notably against Chris Wakeland from 4-0 behind. There's a definite sharpness that hasn't generally been there, I don't think, the last couple of seasons. Yes, he's won the Champion of Champions, the Masters, but it's been a bit lean and ranking event-wise, but there's a definite sharpness to his game, isn't there?
Yeah, it's good to see, but it's particularly good to see because it's so early into the season. He's obviously put a lot of time in, I think, during the summer to get his game up, playing those matches in the Championship League, got through his group, extra matches. Looks very sharp.
Yes, he does, and Jack Lisowski has seen more than enough. So Judd Trump played nicely when he got his second chance, and he leads by a frame to 0. Jack Lisowski, off we go, frame number 2. Best of 11, remember. It's best of 11 all the way up to and including the quarterfinals. So 4 frames as is tradition, and then we play to a finish. Yeah, great pot. Just to let you know, on the other side of the arena, John Higgins has got off to the ideal start by winning frame 1 against Kyron Wilson, and no prizes for guessing the way that he won it. He won it with a a typical Higgins-like clearance to pinch the frame on the black. So John Higgins off to the ideal start. We'll keep you posted, of course, on
4.
the other side of the arena. If you want to watch it again, it's on Discovery Plus.
Five.
Can consider himself a little bit unlucky there.
10.
Pot the blue and hit the pink full in the face. So much backspin on it. Sometimes those kind of shots, if you actually took a little bit of pace off, you're probably more control of not just the reds, but also then the white. But then playing that shot, you're looking to hit the pink full in the face, which he did. You would have expected to have something a bit nicer than this.
11.
That was something else, wasn't it? I mean, to even
16.
get the cue ball around there. It was a fantastic piece of cueing. He's got to show Judd a lot of heart and courage today, hasn't he? You know, as we'd say, Judd's in good form, so Jack's got to stand up to this, especially early on. Yeah, he just can't afford the odd little mistake like that. You feel like Judd's going to jump all over
16.
it with the form he's in.
Yeah, you just feel, as opposed to maybe the last season or so, those kind of mistakes he's not going to get away with. I said Judd's made a very impressive start. Jack was, I said, it was a great win yesterday, but you wouldn't say he was playing at his very best.
1.
Judd, like all top players, of course, great front runner as well.
Yeah, something else you picked up on at the very top of this match, Fergal, wasn't it? I know that being a snooker player, that's what you look for, the handshake. What was going on?
Yeah, there was very, because obviously most people know that they're such good friends, live together, but there wasn't, they barely looked at each other. Normally there might even be like a good game or a smile, but there was no acknowledgement at all. So, but I kind of like to see that. You know, friendship is friendship, but when you're playing there, they both want to win. It's prestigious. And
yeah, it was quite telling, wasn't it? Especially on Judd's side.
4.
You know, all business.
Yeah,
It's got to
absolutely.
be.
I suppose if they're friends, if you lose, you can kind of say, okay, well, if I was to lose, I lose to a friend. But also, because you're a friend, you're probably going to get more stick and more banter. So there might actually be extra pressure on it. But I think it's more just the significance. It's an important, prestigious tournament. They both want to win. It's not a question of beating your opponent today. It's just a question of getting through, staying in this tournament. Because if anything, this tournament over the years is getting more and more prestigious. The top players, as you could have said, it's nearly like it's getting very close or closer to the Masters. And then also the fact that even first round best of 11, it's just a little bit more of a test, a bit more of a over a slightly longer distance.
Yes, it's quite something, the draw, isn't it? Only one seed falling, Gary Wilson, didn't make it into this round of 16. I mean, looking at the top half of the draw, we were discussing it before the match started. Some of the names involved in the top half alone, never mind the bottom half.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're looking at the bottom half and saying actually quite easy, and all of a sudden it's Allen, Robertson, Murphy, the world champion now. But yeah, no, it's very, very hard to predict. In many ways, it's the perfect tournament to have if you're coming back to China. Obviously, you haven't been here in 4 years. You're getting the best players playing a prestigious tournament. So no matter what match you go and see, you're guaranteed a great match. We're guaranteed great matches from here on in, all the way to Sunday. And so with the 16 players, you could probably have 10 guesses, and you mightn't even pick the finalists, let alone the winner, which is exactly what you want. This isn't a tournament you can bluff your way to a win. You're going to have to play your very best.
Yeah, 16 world titles, no less, in this top half of the draw. Sullivan, Higgins, Selby, Judd.
Good luck with that.
Yes, it's been quite workmanlike, this contribution. Got a plant to right corner, must fancy it, obviously. Yeah, no problem. And pretty well played.
13.
Basically just screwing the cue ball off the other. Get the cue ball in open play. It was one of those, wasn't it? And just bank that you're going to be on something. So it was quite a smart shot. That's a sharpness shot as well, the green there, isn't it? That's one of those that it's mildly missable, so if you're not confident, but bang in it goes, hits
16.
leather, and it just feels good, looks good, sounds good. You know, he definitely is sharp.
Absolutely, yeah, because obviously in amongst the balls he's very good, like all the top players, but he's got such a great range of shots that when the balls are awkward, to be able to manoeuvre the white ball around is an art in itself. But it was those kind of little tricky shots, missable ones, that the last year or so he was missing more of, whereas for a year or two he didn't. Somebody had to play amazing to beat him. But again, apart from having the skill to do it,
17.
it's also quite telling you need the patience and the discipline to be happy enough to do it and not get frustrated because you would like the balls to be nicer or easier. And that the last 5-10 years in his game, when he's become the player, that's been the big difference, as opposed to in his early 20s, when he could win a tournament
25.
if he was playing really well. Now he feels he can win any tournament and he doesn't have to be playing his very, very best.
$32. 33. $40.
Yeah, doing so many good things. Excuse me, at the moment. That there. I mean, if you overcook that, half an ounce more pace in its end of break, and that was superbly played, wasn't it?
Yeah, great touch. It's one thing being able to see the shot, but then actually to actually play it and be that precise.
Yes, added to the fact that didn't quite get through that one. It was a bit awkward, but he would have known that with the two reds in the open, he's got a chance of not so much now winning
41.
the frame at this visit. He would need obviously two blacks off the two reds in addition to yellow. Get 43 in front.
Nuremberg as well, he was talking about learning from Mark Allen and the importance of getting a good start to the season, using Mark Allen's example last season. And in previous years we've maybe seen Neil Robertson starting the season. It's rare for these top players, if they win a tournament early on, that they don't go on and have a great season.
43.
If they win one early, there's a good chance to win 3 or 4. Likewise, if they don't win any before Christmas, it's probably more likely they won't win any at all.
Yeah, it's a good point you make, actually, because
43.
looking at Yeah, just looking at Judd's record, the last couple of tournaments he won, which are basically 2.5 years ago, were second half of the season. Gibraltar. One before that was in Germany, obviously the end of January, early Feb. So yeah, you want to get off to a good start. Of course you do. I mean, but yeah, I think you make a good point, because the season going forward, if you can get something in the bag early, it helps you for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah, particularly obviously you start each season, everybody loves to win a tournament and maybe get in the top 16. But Judd's aspirations are to be world number 1. So if he's world number 1, effectively he has to be winning more tournaments than everybody else, which means 3, 4, 5. So you want to be getting 1 as early as possible. Plus you're putting down a marker even to your opponents. So if you were to win this tournament, the next tournament or 2 straight away, you're putting more pressure on your opponents. A little bit of fear factor. I wouldn't say Judd's been playing terrible the last year, so but he's definitely lost a little bit of the fear factor, but that doesn't be long coming back.
Yeah, so a little bit of help from Judd has given Jack a half chance. The problem with it, you know, he'd like to probably lift the 2 reds at this time, but with the black not being on, a lot of value in it, so try and build it. That's a nice brush on the pink, get that back into play and get busy as far as those 2 reds together are concerned.
See, left-handed. Actually, with the rest, he's left-handed as well. There's a lot of left-handed players, and amazingly, with the rest, they use their opposite hand. It's nearly unorthodox to play normal and with the rest with your left hand.
Yeah, he just got the faintest flick in the black there. Beautiful angle. Ah, lovely. So now his attention turns to the scoreboard and the blue, because it's, he's going to need to win this frame. The good news is that he doesn't need the pink, so again, as Fergal said, being a lefty, possibilities of dropping in behind the blue if and when he gets that far.
$23. 24.
Blue close enough to the ball line and just a little piece off the cushion I'd say more than likely he'll try and drop in behind it rather than try and cannon it out.
33.
Again, the fact that you said he doesn't need the pink, just gets in behind it, roll it in, pocket weight, you'd fully expect him to pot it. Just has to guarantee an angle on the brown here, then potting it to get back over to the blue.
36.
Want to hit that. Might have just try and swing around off a couple of cushions to try and get close to it. I just kind of feel like the middle pocket's in the way. And the pink also. Can you avoid both? Probably as good as you could hope for.
Yeah, absolutely. His heart would have skipped a beat there. And it was dangerous, wasn't it? Because Judd, as we know, is also lefty. Brown off the spot with ball in hand would have been pretty much end of frame. Oh, that's brilliant.
45.
Excellent by Jack Lisowski to get a foothold in this match. 18 to the good dent. Pink dead weight over the pocket. Yeah, just stroked it in. That was fantastic by Jack Lisowski, making full use of the chance he got and showing good form early on in this last 16 encounter. It's one frame all.
Third frame. Jack jump to break.
Even the frame ball blue he pot. There was no, trying to cover himself. Fully committed to it, hit it beautifully. And again, you feel now that it's gone 1-all, that's set up the rest of the match perfectly. Are you a fan of their bow ties, or are you more traditional?
I think Judd won. The one that Judd, it's quite smart, isn't it? It doesn't, flop around and
tucked under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a name for those boats? Is there an actual name? I don't know. I call them either the Red Riverboat Gambler or what's the other one? A Dead Bat.
Yeah. The reason why they're doing them is they felt just the normal bow tie, the knot in the middle is just that little bit too big. So sometimes actually, as you're queuing, it can nearly get stuck or cut across it or move it offline.
I'll tell you a tip for any snooker player that wants a good bow tie. Go to a vintage clothing shop. They used to make them in the 60s and 70s, the knots like tiny. And, I just think things were better. I know I'm an old fogey, but things were made better, I think, back then. I think they're perfect for snooker players. And you also get ones made in the 60s and 70s with that elasticated band that there's a bit of give as you bend down, all that sort of stuff. You don't get that in the modern world.
Yeah.
This is getting deep. This is snooker player taught this.
Yeah. Did you tie it yourself, or did you just buy the ones that were tied? Did you tie around the back wheel? We like James Bond and have the full effect, or?
I have no idea how to properly tie one. Yeah, leave that to Sean and Murphy. He's the man for that job, isn't he?
The jump, 12.
worst miss of the match by a long way so far. Again, not something you've seen coming.
One. Eight.
Yeah, it's just gone a bit awkward. Red along this end cushion, it's a bit thinner than it looks on screen. If he has any aspirations of potting it, it's going to be playing it quite slowly, so you know what happens then if he misses it. So the alternative, tougher pot, but you could hedge bet slightly with it.
Lisowski. 8.
But what was a decent chance hasn't really come to anything. Just to keep you posted across the arena, John Higgins has opened up a 2-0 lead against Kyron Wilson. The winner of this particular match will play the winner of Mark Selby and Hossein Bafai. They play later tonight on table 2, where the feature match is the return of Ronnie O'Sullivan to Shanghai, 4 times a champion, against Ali Carter. That'll be on the main Eurosport channel for you, and also Discovery Plus. Neil Folds and David Hendon will guide you through that one later today.
Careless by Jack there. Should have made sure he got the white tight to the cushion. He's giving the initiative away to Judd. I'm not sure Judd had a look to see was that plant even a possibility. Looks a bit tight, but we can just get past.
Lots of snooker coming up next week, actually, with the qualifying for the International Championship up there in Sheffield, just about 300 or 400 yards down from the Crucible itself. If anyone wants to go along, you can pay your money on the day. A lot of the top players are going to be there. Mark Allen, Sean Murphy, Mark Selby, amongst others. John Higgins, another one. So if you want to go along, you can do. It starts on Monday and runs for most of next week. So if you want to go along, just down the road from the Crucible at Ponds Forge in Sheffield, it's a mere tenner to get in and watch some of the best players in the world. Great value.
once you get a red or two up in the baulk area, it kind of dictates how the frame's going to go. You can kind of see that maybe in a few shots each, all the balls will be spread open, and whoever puts the first red would have a great chance then to go on and win it.
Yeah, slow going this frame, but these reds are gradually just gonna separate. And of course, Judd has got the upper hand in this exchange. And he's good at this as well. He doesn't let go. He knows how important it is to get this cue ball tight to the end cushion.
Yeah, so long as he has it tied to the cushion, he'll have the advantage.
Yeah, so there's no more roll-up option. Jack's got to think about pressing here. A whole lot of other options. He does have a red to left middle. Tricky, guaranteed to leave something, but he's taking it on. Big shot.
One. Six. Seven. 14. 15.
It's always nice if you have a couple of reds
22.
in the baulk end. You don't have to be as precise with your position of play.
$23. 29.
Pink just about goes on the green spot. Not really relevant. Plenty of open reds here for Judd.
30.
Again, could have been either side of the blue was ideal.
$35.
Yeah, he's been fairly meticulous as usual with this break. Although plenty reds in the open, been
36.
super careful with his cue ball. But not overly careful. Sometimes you can be that way, can you? Got, again, it's about the balance between relaxing and concentrating. But he's shown good concentration, but playing at a nice rhythm.
Yeah, we're needed to give him that
43.
extra second or two, extra due care and attention, but certainly not getting bogged down or looking for problems.
$44.
Sometimes when the balls are as open as they were, it's put as much a test of your concentration, because it's very easy to get ahead, look at the table, look how open it is, and just presume you're going to clear up and mop up. The chance he had, he should have won the frame.
49. $50. $54.
Of course, Judd and John
55.
have their own little battle in the century race. John had his 950th century yesterday. Judd stuck on 914. Might get an extra one here. And of course, Ronnie O'Sullivan's at over 1,000.
Yeah, it's quite a race, isn't it?
59.
We were actually talking again before this match started.
60.
Well, I was saying, and I do hope that all three of them, if and when, and of course they will, get to 1,000. I just hope it happens at a big event, the Masters or the Crucible. So, you know, let's hope it doesn't happen at, well, Pond's Forge or somewhere like that behind closed doors. Time will tell, but yeah, it's a good race actually going on.
Of course, Neil Robertson a bit behind at 900, but nice problems to have.
Yeah, I'm thinking
66.
around maybe Christmas time next year. One, or let's hope all three of them get to that mark. Nah, that's a pity. Not a century, but Jack Lisowski clearly has had
66
enough,
in the
so
frame.
an excellent contribution. Sees Judd trump. And back in the lead once again. And he leads 2 frames to 1. One frame to come here, of course, before the mid-session interval.
Looking at those statistics in the head-to-head, it's actually noticeable. You tend to think of Judd as very much the senior player, but there is only the 2 years in the
Frame four.
difference.
Check it
And
yourself, get to break.
Jack's 32. Yeah, Jack 32, 12 years as a pro. So he's not the youngster we sometimes allude to.
Yeah, I know when we got to sort of early 30s, you were almost considered a gnarled old veteran when you've been around the block more than once.
You think by the time Stephen Hendry got to 30, his World Championship winning days were over. I think that was very much the perception at the time, that 30 and certainly 40 was old. Whereas now it's flipped around, feels like it's nearly hard to win in your 20s because you haven't learned your trade enough.
One.
Of course, it's compounded by the class of 92. There's no let up with those three.
The champ 1.
Jack's previous excellent safety made it difficult for Judd. He's created this opportunity. Obviously, not easy, but these kind of shots hand on table, you fully expect Jack to pot them.
Yeah, I've been on record in probably the last 12 months or so calling out that I believe Jack to have certainly one of the very best long games in the business. I want to put the markers on this one, but it has been excellent of late. Oh yeah, that's better.
1.
Feel good shot, almost the way it sounded. Well, just give him an injection of confidence.
And of course, if you're playing somebody who's such a good long putter, puts that extra bit of pressure on your safety. You feel your safety has to be perfect.
Yeah, here's your quintessential cueing shot. That's how sweet. See how sweet this one. Oh, beautifully played.
Seven.
It's just a beautiful, smooth delivery of the cue, isn't it? It's perfect.
Yeah, I think part of his problem in his probably first half of his pro career, that type of shot he would maybe hit it a bit harder, like punch. He doesn't punch that anymore. He just strokes it home. Trusting technique and cue ball spin, all these things that we talk about. Beautifully played.
8.
Yeah, it's snooker players, kind of what you talk about, hits the ball lovely. So it's not just that the balls have went in, it's actually the contact, the sound, that nearly distinguishes the best from the very best.
Yeah, the pace.
Yeah.
Sort of pace of shots.
It's all built in.
It's funny, isn't it? You can look at a snooker player, say, for example,
14.
like a wild card here. You know, yesterday maybe watch for the first time, and you could see them hit one or two shots, and it depends on the pace that they play a certain. You say, yeah, oh yeah, he's got something or she's got something.
Yeah, absolutely. Hard to define.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, good to see actually by Yulu in this tournament. She unfortunately lost in the early hours of this morning, UK time and European time, to Robert Milken, 6-1. But she did have a lovely 75 break in the frame that she won, so that was be a good experience for her going forward.
$21. $22.
Yeah, that was quite poor. It's quite awkward, this, with his right arm going to be over the top of that red. So this green is not a sitter, not by any means. And it's a problem that is created on his own The pressure. Oh, excellent. Brilliant pot.
Again, another perfect example of what we're
25.
talking about. Got plenty of work on the white ball, got it moving. Hit the white ball in the perfect position. Just enough top spin. Not too hard that it could arc or check. Just let the cue do the work.
26.
You could hit that a lot harder and not get the reaction or run on the white. Again, so smooth, just smooth through the ball is probably the description you'd use. It's like he delivered the cue, and the white ball got in the way.
Yeah, so it's been sort of out of position a couple of times in this break. It's been a wee bit stressy, isn't it? Probably for Jack's liking.
32.
He's got to button down his cue ball just a fraction. Of course, taking on those sort of 50-50 sort of shots, eventually you're going to miss one of them. His cue ball's just doing a wee bit too much mileage. In this break, got to play one good positional shot.
It's this red beside the blue that's actually been in the way or causing us problems.
35.
So you pot this, remove it, get on the blue.
$36. $41. $42.
Of course, that's part of the fascination with Jack Lisowski. Such a lovely player, great to watch. We want him to win, and then he hasn't, and we're obsessing over why he hasn't, and will he, and if so, when. It's intriguing to watch.
Yeah, very much so. That's the $64 million question with Jack, isn't it? Not something he really should be worrying about. You want to obviously sort of almost organically let it happen, but he just hasn't been able to get over that winning line, albeit the finals he's played in has been against supreme quality. Again,
48.
cue ball just misbehaving on occasion. Yeah, you can see that it's good stuff actually by Judd there, sitting the cheek, nice and alert to the situation, ready to pounce almost. He knows that Jack's been losing his cue ball here and there. This is the key shot though. Yeah, good pot. But again, all right, he's got the tuck in if he doesn't have the pot on, but it's been a bit stressy.
Yeah, good point you made about Judd there being in the chair. When you're in the chair, you have to expect him to miss. So it might be unlikely, but if and when he does, that you're ready for it. Plenty of times you're in your chair and you've given the frame to your opponent, and when he does miss, you nearly feel like you need a couple of minutes to readjust mentally.
53.
Plus also by being alert, you're seeing where the balls are, so if and when you do get a chance,
54.
you've already got a better picture before you come to the table, rather having to try to regroup and work it out.
$61. 62.
Yeah, there's been a bit of both actually in this contribution. Good and bad. Great recovery potting. Cue ball letting him down on occasion, but he stuck to the task admirably, and now he's got his reward.
69.
2 all at the intervals, just about right.
70.
Yeah, you kind of feel they both had that warm up, and after the interval, it starts.
76. 77.
Yeah, Jack can't supersede
84.
the 141 that is in line for the high break prize by John Higgins.
85.
This year's Shanghai Masters at the moment, but let's hope he goes on to complete the century.
$92. 94. 97.
A typically
101.
classy century break by Jack Lisowski, as he serenely meanders his way towards the
106.
interval. And he'll enjoy his 15 minutes. It's been a terrific match. As I say, I think 2-2 is just about right. Yeah, time now to
112.
just release the tension, open the shoulders. Fantastic stuff, Jack Lisowski.
190 in the frame.
Excellent century. Confirms that he takes us to that mid-session interval against that man there, Judd Trump. They'll go and have 15-minute break. It's 2 frames all. Welcome back then to what is going to be the business end
Thank you.
of this particular
Frame 5.
match in a last
Jump to break.
16 clash in this year's Shanghai Masters. The last 16, incidentally, is over today and all of tomorrow. Set up the quarterfinals, and what a cast list it is at the moment. We resume, of course, 2-2 in this particular match. On the other side of the arena, John Higgins leads Kyron Wilson 3 frames to 1. So lots to play for, and I think just going into that interval, 2-2, just about right, Fergal.
Yeah, both of them played well. 1 or 2 mistakes, look a lot sharper. I feel it's set up lovely for after the interval. Probably feel with his extra sharpness early on in the season that if one player was going to pull away and win comfortably, I think more like it would be Judd. Very fortunate there. Quite a poor safety, the big target with the red to avoid any of the ball colours.
Yes, although we're only in day 2 of the Shanghai Masters, it's got a more serious feel to it now, I think. I think 10, 15 years ago, when we went out to tournaments, yes, ranking events and whatever in China, good fought by Jack Lisowski, there was still a bit of a novelty feel about some of the tournaments, wasn't there? You know, going out there, it was all new. But now this is established, and that's what you want the big tournaments to be. You want them to be established, where it becomes a year-on-year thing, which I'm sure this will be going forward. So it becomes a big event, and it's really serious. There's serious money in it, we know that. £210,000 to the winner. But the handshake at the start was a little clue in that. I think we were talking about it before the interval. It's all business.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there was a time, going back, as you said, 10, 15 years, when it was one of those, obviously you wanted to do well, but if you didn't, sure, not to worry, I'll stay on a couple of days, and Shanghai or other places are great to see. And that was great, but in a good way, that novelty is gone. And you're going to Shanghai. Why are you going to Shanghai? It's not for sightseeing. It's for business, and serious business, because apart from the prestige and the money, it's also the players you now have to beat, which adds to it. Again, tied in the fact that we haven't been there for 4 years, just even adds to it as well. There seems to be even greater appetite and interest for it. And I said, if you just look at the field in the last 16, every match from here on in really could be a final.
Foul. Check the results to 4.
And again, also, it's not the very first tournament of the season, so players, if the excuses that they haven't been playing, they're gone. So even they took a break during the summer by playing maybe the Championship League or 1 or 2 qualifiers, they've practiced for that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's found a good slot in the calendar, isn't it? You know, you have a couple of tournaments. We've had the Championship League, we've had the European Masters, we've had a few qualifying stages for events, and then you go out there. So, yeah, players are that bit sharper. So.
Yeah, you don't think at all that the European Masters was like a warm-up event for this. Far from it. It's a great event in its own right. But everybody is in this, including Ronnie. So you just feel the top players are here. It is the best field. Nobody's any excuses anymore. We're into September now.
1.
And also, apart from just this tournament on its own, we're coming into a very busy run of tournaments. So players want to be building momentum.
Check the results to 1. Foul and a miss. Check the results to 4.
Yeah, misjudgment. The only good news, it's easy to respot the 2 colours. Yeah, I can understand him catching the green there. He's obviously erring on the high side of the bunch, because low of it, he's obviously going to leave something. He's tracking those 2 reds just below and to the left of the pink. No material difference to the shot. Judd's gonna. It doesn't really matter how tight he is to the yellow. Judd's going to be going in and out of bulk anyway.
Okay.
That'll do. That is absolute genius.
Fantastic shot. Again, certainly 10 years or so ago, Judd wouldn't have seen the shot, or probably even looked for it.
Yeah, it was classy, wasn't it? Quickly calculated that his attempt at first time round just wasn't on, so change of plan, it's a shot.
One.
Terrific pick out. Obviously a bit of humidity in the air, just prepping his cue for this long straight one. Long raking black, killed the cue ball stone dead. Yeah.
Lisowski 1.
Sometimes when it's a little humid, those shots are just a bit more tricky, aren't they?
Yeah, it's never a nice feeling when you're cueing and you're conscious, literally on the cue on your hand. As I said, it feels like just sticking a piece.
You almost, then you start trying to guide it in.
But also the fact there as well, he had to go back and clean his cue before he played the black. Just taking an extra few seconds. It just seems a bigger shot when you come back to it, whereas normally you wouldn't.
Yeah, that humidity is something that we quite often talk about in commentary, but it is a thing. It's relevant, isn't it? You know, Shanghai is that good bit further south than Beijing. I think Beijing's farther to the north, isn't it, where it tends to be less sticky. You get farther down to the south, then south of Shanghai, you've got Guangzhou, it goes down to Hong Kong on the coast, and then off to Hainan Island in the south. It's quite, it can be really quite humid and not conducive to good cueing out there.
Yeah, and apart from that also, the conditions, it can affect the actual playing, that kind of reaction. That's kind of what Sean Murphy was talking about, having different cues for different scenarios or different conditions. And this is one of them where if you were going to change, it would be here because the humidity and the dampness, the white ball's not reacting the way it normally would. There's probably less throw, so do you adapt? Do you use a cue that has less throw? Or it seems a bit of a minefield to me, but there is a difference in conditions. The balls, when it's stickier, don't react the exact same way as they would when it's a perfectly dry day. So
now, look, you're close to Sean. You practice a lot with him. He's our good pal. I want your verdict on that.
Yeah, I said it to him. I said, "You're mad." He tried to talk me around, but I was no.
Yeah, he's always the innovator. Perhaps he'll be as good as his word going forward.
But for me, the question I asked him was, okay, apart from actually physically taking out 3 cues, at what point do you make a change? It just seemed to me like from the start, rather than concentrating on your game, you're observing and analysing the conditions. So like, do you change after 1 frame, 2 frames? Which cue? Which one do you start with? It does seem to be more of a distraction.
Yeah, it's as you say, a bit of a minefield perhaps, but yeah, we'll keep an interest in that as the season goes on.
Sean will be just glad we're talking about him
Yeah,
anyway.
well, yeah.
8.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean opens his account here. Quite a wait for him. All the players have been out there doing their duties with PR and promoting the event. Starts tomorrow evening. Sean Murphy against Rob Milkins. Meanwhile, Judd Trump going along quite nicely here, isn't he?
9.
Control of the cue ball. Very businesslike he's been in this match today, Judd. Just quickly tell you that Kyron Wilson has got another frame on the board across the other side of the arena. He's well past the post in frame 5 and is just about to close to 3-2 behind to John Higgins. So a good match in progress there too.
$14. $15. $22.
Yeah, just managed to finish between the double and the deep blue sea there, playing for a couple of reds.
23.
So had to forced actually to leave a tricky black. Yeah, well controlled, well played.
Yeah, looks very assured, very focused.
$31. $38. $39.
He's working hard for these points, hasn't quite been in perfect position at any stage.
44. 45.
Yeah, that's exceptional concentration to just keep finishing. It was key, wasn't it, to finish nicely above the blue line there.
Yeah, finally got in an ideal position.
It's an attribute we don't speak about a lot, but his concentration, brilliant, Judd Trump, and he understands that there's points in matches and frames where it's important to get this shot right, because if I do, I should win the frame. That was one that last red. He just sort of set this
51.
chance up.
Yeah, rather than being frustrated, he's actually just rose and accepted the challenge. Very good signs, and that's why over the last couple of years, particularly when he came #1, just so consistent. Every tournament is at the business end.
58.
Whereas in his younger days, at his best, yeah, he could beat anybody, and he might win a tournament a
59.
season. But there wasn't that consistency. I said his bad days or his B game was just a bit too bad. Not anymore.
$66.
He's a lot more resilient than we probably
67.
give him credit for. When we talk about heart and character, we tend to mention other players, but to do what he has done and continue doing, that's there. It's just also his personality. He's not a flash, showy guy, so it doesn't really be. It's not something he'd highlight himself either, but it's there all right.
72. $73.
And you just know that himself, Higgins and Neil Robertson, are aware of the century race, and they
81.
want them badly, don't they? Why not? Too?
Absolutely, yeah.
Ah, the black goes astray, but
Good job. 81
disappointed
in the
with
frame.
that. But it was a quality contribution once again from Judd Trump. And he's back in front again for the third time. It's 3-2. So we'll keep you posted as that other fabulous match goes on. So both matches at 3-2 at the moment.
He's the kind of player and character, Karen Wills, that could come back from 3-0 down against John Higgins. Apart from having the class, has the fight.
Right,
Right
come on
front.
then. Sorry, I was asking you about your cue. You've had two of them. Listen, I remember the one that you had, the first one, and I'm sure it was dipped in a chocolate fondue. It was like, the colour, it was like dark brown, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It was only actually when I got rid of it, the amount of players that came up to me and said how much they disliked it. Yeah, Steve Davis always thought it was fire damaged. But, it served me well.
Yes, it did.
That's it. So me cue the other day coming back with the qualifier went missing, but finally it turned up, so it's back in the house.
That's good news. Yeah, too much of that going on these days. Cues going missing. We know about Luca, and it's happened to a bunch of players. It's about time, I think, airlines have got to have some kind of dispensation for sports people with equipment.
Yeah, ideally if you get onto the plane, leave it to some of the staff there and they just mind it and you collect it as you walk off the plane, I think, because it's becoming more and more commonplace. Obviously travel, there's so many people travelling,
Well,
it's happening more often. I think if you're, well, any player, particularly young players starting off, that spare queue, as best you can, closer replica, is nearly an essential, that you have a plan in place if the worst is to happen. Players are more likely to change the queue nowadays, where certainly for me, losing my queue would be a disaster. But of course, it happened to Luca Bassel. You know, horror story. You win the world championship with a queue, and then it goes missed. But thank God it's turned up. So
Yes, absolutely.
Five.
We'll get to see Luca's World Championship winning queue hopefully tomorrow afternoon
6.
session in Shanghai. He plays Mark Williams. What a match in prospect that is. But then again, all 8 matches in the last 16 this year in Shanghai. There's something about them, as has this match, just bubbling along nicely. Judd Trump has got eyes for the bunch here. Just a nestle cannon, beautifully controlled again.
$11. $12.
Kyron Wilson has just dispatched frame ball, so he's certain to equalise 3-0 down. He's now 3-all against John Higgins, so brilliant match across the arena. You can watch that if you so wish on the Discovery Plus app.
17.
You nearly get a sense of Judd. He's
18.
nearly starting to make a run for the line already. Looking very fluent, very polished. And when he had his opportunities, you wouldn't say the balls have been perfect every time, but as I keep saying, great patience and discipline, and obviously then skill. But these are very good signs. He described it as he's putting in a good shift today. Another lovely shot there.
23. $24. $31. $32. $39. 40.
Yeah, even there, controlled beautifully. Just to nestle 1 or 2 more reds
47.
into open play with the brush cannon. Everything working
48.
in good order for Judd Trump. He looks so sharp. I've been saying it from the start of this match, but it's true. Played lovely a few weeks ago out there in Nuremberg, and he's carrying that form on.
$55.
In and out of balk with a cue ball for top side of blue.
$56.
Again, controlled nicely.
It's noticeable as he's compiling the break, he never takes his eyes off the table at all. He's keeping his focus, like he's gathering information all the time. It's in that beautiful mind place. There's no crowd, there's no TV. It's just him and the balls, and trying to
61.
rise into the challenge of them.
Yeah, he's playing
62.
fabulously well, as is Kyron Wilson at the moment. That equalising 6 frame that he wanted. Things all square at 3-all against John Higgins across the arena. It was a break of 127. So all to play for across there. Judd Trump for the first time then. Just a couple of shots away from taking a cast iron grip in this match. He's been ahead 3 times in this match and been pulled back level on 2 occasions, but this time he looks like he's breaking free.
69.
If this red goes in, it will be too clear for sure. Not this time.
Zheng, 69.
But excellent work again.
One.
That just seals the frame, but you feel that if Jack is going to come back and win, he's going to have to play his very best. The kind of form Judd is in, and with his attitude, you don't really see Judd coming back to him.
6.
That's if he gets the opportunities, of course.
7. 14.
Yeah, time to enjoy himself. Open these reds up.
15.
Not quite what he was after, but that'll do. It's nice. You put together a frame-winning contribution, then get a chance like this to just relax into it for a few shots, because it's been full
21.
bore concentration all the way.
22. 29. 30. 37. 39. 42.
I'm glad. I was going to say before that he ain't potting this one.
Yeah.
46.
Even he didn't plan that one.
Yeah, it's like picking it up off the floor now, isn't it? He's just,
51.
wow, he is hitting it properly now, isn't he? Wow, brilliant.
Part of the enjoyment
57.
of watching Judd plays when he has the frame one, you're guaranteed these exhibition shots. Brilliant to watch.
Yeah, that was exhibition stuff. Judd Trump then, for the first time in this match, opens up a 2-frame gap. And he's taking firm control of it. He now leads by 4 frames to 2. Jack Lisowski waiting patiently. As said before, this match a little bit humid in Shanghai. Jack there just keeping the cues dry as possible. That's normal. Judd Trump probably out just washing his hands.
From 7. Judd Trump to break.
And off we go again. So, for the first time in the match, as said, Judd Trump with a 2-frame advantage. You've got to say it's been vintage so far by Judd. Not so much the Hollywood shots, nothing like that, just rock solid safety, great concentration in close, and he's not missing much.
Yeah, very professional performance. Great attitude, application, patience. And he just got a sense just after the interval that he was getting more and more comfortable, more and more confident, and he kind of started nearly already fearing for Jack that the match could just get away from him. I wouldn't say Jack's been making terrible mistakes.
1.
It's nearly been hard to pinpoint how Judd has got in, but just he has been, from half chances, he's made the very most of it. And again, this match could easily just slip away from Jack.
Six.
Yeah, that was another example of stunning quality. Just checking if he's got any loose reds. It doesn't appear there's anything on to left corner, so see where he's addressing this cue ball. Yeah, he's got to come back up, but almost playing here, I would imagine, for bulk colour rather than blue. He's got to make the white get high enough. He didn't play that. Held,
7.
aided by a brush on the edge of the bunch. Now, if he's on the black, he could be in business. Yes, everything at the moment just seeming to work in unison for Judd.
Yeah, not just fortunate to be on the black, but also push this red
14.
here below the pack, so in potting it, should be able to disturb a few reds.
15.
Maybe the cushion and the rail is slightly raised. Just felt a bit uncomfortable under his hand.
$22. 23. Set.
Yeah, the eyes just went skyward there, didn't he? Complete misjudgment. Don't know whether he played at one cushion. I think he did, but it was really a two cushion shot, wasn't it? So the last part of the cue ball going towards the red, and he would send the break. Be disappointed with that, having worked the opening well.
Jump. Set.
Yeah, the last red he potted, he really should have made sure he got it the perfect angle on the black to be low on it to pot it and be able to go into them. Still shouldn't have ran out of position. And one of the few, if only, casual shots or curl shots in playing the safety, shouldn't have been anywhere near the yellow which he caught. Probably quite fortunate to leave Jack a nicer shot. But again, these are very fine margins. We're looking for him to be perfect, but he's certainly been excellent, all right.
Yeah, absolutely. But one thing I would say, we're not being any harder on them than they are on themselves, these players. Oh, that's quality safety shot again.
Yeah, we're judging them by their standards.
He's got to hang tough here, Jack. 4-2 behind, 30 behind. Next mistake in this frame is probably going to be his last. That is excellent. That is a brilliant shot. Yes, he's got to brush off the brown to get cover on the main central area. It's just important at the moment that he keeps Judd guessing for a few shots at least. Just try and knock Judd out of this rhythm that he's getting, because he's getting too many chances at the moment. Not that Jack's playing badly, that's not, it's just Judd's been so solid in all departments. So you hang tough for a few shots, eventually it might just turn for you.
Yeah, rather than get caught up on being 4-2 down, his focus should be just on that he's going to pot the next red. It's going to be like a mini game. So if you play 5 shots or 15 shots, just win that little mini battle and take it from there. Chances are he might have to play a great shot or a series of good shots to create an opportunity or half an opportunity. Yeah, I'm not sure that was the shot. You were talking about hang tough or patience or battle, just it was a risky shot. I know he puts a very high percentage of them, but he's hardly put a ball in the last half hour or so. Fortunate to get away with it. It's not a situation he can force at all.
Yeah, and there's another one where Judd comes to the table. It was a safety shot he couldn't do an awful lot with, Jack, but it's a chance for free again for Judd.
Yeah, uncharacteristic, but not good to see the bang of the cue off the table there.
Oh, that will do. Lovely. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, that won't help his mood.
Snooker gods at work again. Show a wee bit of petuousness in it, sort of thing. What are you doing? Right, okay, I'll show you.
And by the same token, Judd's earned a bit of good luck.
No, absolutely.
7.
It's almost like when you put together a little body of work in a match, it all just comes good in the end, and you get rewarded for it somehow.
Yeah, so now you'd probably expect Judd to go on with 5-2. So obviously, Jack obviously having to win all 4 frames is very difficult. But you're less sure he could do it, given the temperament and attitude he's now slumped into.
14.
Just
15.
quickly tell you that John Higgins has established a lead again against Karen Wilson. Handsomely won frame 7. He leads 4-3.
$22. 23. 29. 30.
'There's a sense of calmness about Judd today in this season that wasn't there last year.
36.
Last year it looked like he was fighting his game and also kind of fighting himself. I think during the summer he's obviously had a long hard look at himself and his career. wants to get back to winning ways.
$37. $44.
Yeah, that
45.
just about puts the final nail in this frame, and 5-2 is all but guaranteed now. Yeah, I agree. The European Masters, I was fortunate to cover a lot of his matches. The pink misses, Jack Lisowski's had enough.
45.
But Judd Trump at the moment is getting very, very close indeed to something like his best game. He's in complete command of this match now. And he's one away from victory. He leads 5-2. So welcome back, Judd Trump. 5-2 lead now, having resumed this match on the mid-session interval, all locked up at 2-2. He's in complete control of it now, and carrying on the form that saw him to the final of that European Masters 2.5 weeks ago. Jack Lisowski has it all to do if he's going to get a foothold in the remainder of this match. Because, as mentioned at the tail end of frame 7, for me anyway, Judd Trump is back to something near, certainly something approaching his best. I'm not talking about the world final performance in 2019, nothing, because that was mythical sort of performance. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen too often, but just in general terms, his form is superb. It's quite a loose one though. Too many like that today. But Jack has just got to make everything now, Fergal.
Yeah, exactly. The first issue is getting chances, and then if you get chances, to maximise them.
One. Lisowski 1.
Again, for Jack, he's tried to break it down. You can't look at have to win 4 frames. Even 1 frame at a time is probably too much a task. So just break it down to like a micro goal. Just get the next chance and literally take it from there. You kind of deal with that. The thoughts of winning 4 frames in a row just seems a bit too big.
It's a fabulous effort.
Foul and a miss. Check this out for 4.
I mean, the precision that he's trying to play this with is as high a tariff as it gets, really. He's trying to land not just on the red, but this side of the red, the bottom half of it, dead weight off 3 cushions.
Yeah, I thought Jack might have been tempted by playing the red up into the green pocket, but obviously knows how difficult it is and just feels that Judd will leave him a better chance. It has to be so precise, as you said. A ruse smile from Jack there.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing the funny side of it. Obviously, Jack isn't. That was, yeah, you know, it's that thing, you know, you're playing well and all that. I don't know whether that's a thing, because the snooker gods don't actually exist. It's just that we believe they do. Why wouldn't you? Well, No, if the Loch Ness Monster exists, which it does, then the snooker gods exist. That's what I'm saying.
Caught that safety a little bit too thick. These shots you fully expect Judd to pot. Hand on the table. That kind of shot probably hits it harder than Jack would. Jack could probably hit it a little bit, maybe a little bit lower on the cue ball, a little bit smoother. Maybe if he'd hit it a little bit softer, if possible, it might have just went in, but again, not a miss you'd be too worried about. That fight's up in total control.
Yeah, but a loose cue ball again gives Judd options of a couple. I think whichever one he takes on here, he's feasting his eyes. It's his type of shot, this, isn't it? We got a good look at that, didn't we? We were talking about something off air earlier where we'd like to see a shot where he's hitting the cue ball central on delivery, just to see how far to the right he's addressing it. What do you take from that, Ferg?
I think there's been a slight change. I don't think he's as far right. I think he's right of centre at address. Obviously, he wants to hit middle, but it seemed in the past he was more to the right. He seems to have brought in a little bit closer to it. And certainly the last couple of years, that's become a big talking point. I'd say for years he was obviously doing it, but wasn't aware of it. Just commentators, and it's probably become a little bit conscious of it. Might have undermined his confidence a little piece as well. But it definitely seems like, as I said, he's closer to the centre of the white at address. He's intending to hit it in the middle, as he always was, but he used to be further to the right and then literally move not just his cue, but his body across back to the middle.
7.
He's just kind of flapping in the wind at the moment, Jack, in this little break. He badly needs a good positional shot to settle himself. Oh, yeah, struggled in.
Wriggled in.
Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle, but now he's in absolute prime
40.
scoring territory. Got to just gather himself here.
$15. $20. $21. $26. $27. $32. $33.
It's that one area where he's not quite as accomplished as Judd. His cue ball's not as tight. The next positional shot is still okay here. A couple of reds to drop on and maybe even get the black into play if he so wishes. But just, I mean, in general terms, it's important here, isn't it? You know, 43 in front.
38.
Still needs another 4 reds to win this frame at this visit. So the next couple of shots are going to be vital. All about his cue ball. Play the cannon properly, and it should be job done. Yeah, lovely.
39. $46. 47. 52. 53.
Push that red, 65 ahead, just needs this red to seal the frame.
$61.
Considering he's been sitting down for the last 3 frames, he actually took these quite well. Again, things can change quickly. All of a sudden he gets another frame on the board. All of a sudden a 5-4. He'll be right back in it.
Yeah, it hasn't been without the odd scare here and there.
68.
This break, but it's been excellent in terms of character. All right, that red stays up, but he's done more than enough. Judd Trump still 1 away from victory. It's 5-3. Okay, so back we are on the main table. Judd Trump still that 1 frame from the winning line. So still a bit of room to manoeuvre for Judd, but as we know, 5-2 in front. If we were to lose this frame, then things start to look a bit serious.
It's been noticeable already in the couple of days that players haven't really been left a red from their players' break-off. It's tend to find that certain tournaments seems to happen far more often than others.
Wow. Judd Trump 1.
Seemed to choose a more difficult route there. I thought he might have played off the 3 cushions in the baulk end, come round. Try and get the other side of the table.
Yeah, kind of agree. Yes, he was in a tricky spot, but
What?
there's always a kind of safer way to play an escape, isn't there? Percentage-wise. You know,
Yeah, it wasn't really a time to be
nitpicking.
clever. You're in trouble.
Yeah,
In tennis terms, just get the ball back over the net.
yeah.
Eight.
Crucial here now to get an ideal angle on the black to be able to go into them.
Nine.
Ideally, could have been just a fraction lower. Again, with his cue pair, should be okay.
Sixteen. Seventeen.
Yeah, barring the plant then, it's end of break.
22.
Interested in it. Yeah, looks a good one from here. He's got to catch it very thin, mind you. It's one of those you almost got to try and forget about the cue ball in some way, because you don't have a lot of control over it, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, it's just separate, just pot it, see where you've landed, and then go from there. But there's every chance you'd have some shot or some pot.
Twenty-three.
Yeah, it's pretty well controlled in the end. This game is funny, and it always seems to ask you one more question than you want to answer. This is a
Particularly when you're a frame away from winning.
yeah, it's a tricky one.
Beautiful shot there. Again, with the plant, just pot it. It sounds obvious, but just pot it. Stay at the
26.
table, you're in control. You can always play safety, worst case scenario. You played a lovely shot there in the green.
27.
Something that I've always been impressed with Judd since he's become a champion is that, to me at least, he doesn't seem like he's remotely interested in yesterday or last week or last year. I won this, I done that. He gets on with the job, that he wants more all the
34.
time. And the other good thing, he wants to improve, because his game fell off a cliff. I'm going to be honest about it for a year or so. You know, yes, he was lifting the odd title, but he wasn't performing to the same standard. But I firmly
35.
believe that he now is.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said, these are very good signs. It's a good point you made as well about, should we say, staying in the present or not getting too caught up in what he's achieved. Likewise, when he's had disappointments, he's just continued on. They haven't gone in on him, and a bad tournament hasn't resulted in a bad month or months. A classic example being when he lost that UK Championship final to Neil Robertson. He's obviously gutted he missed the pink he should have got. But the very next morning he was playing, we were back in Milton Keynes. He won that morning, but he went on and won that tournament. That spoke volumes. Took an awful lot of character. I remember at the time other players seen him that morning, nearly afraid to talk to him because such was the disappointment. Players said they'd have pulled out of the tournament, but he played, he won that day. I think that was a real, for me even looking on, that was a real true sign of a champion. Not just a good player who could win occasionally, but a champion who could win a lot.
Yeah, good point. He's also doing something that's really classy here. He's hovering his finger above the bed. You're not allowed to touch the bed and use an implement or anything like that to gauge whether the pink will respot or something like that. But you're allowed to hover your finger above it.
Yeah, of course, Ronnie, a year or two ago, he put his chalk down. I think it was an innocence, but you're not allowed to do it.
Yeah, you're allowed to hover it,
yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, but not actually start measuring exactly.
Yeah. If he's on that red, what a shot that was. The shoulders just drip a wee bit, so perhaps he's not on it.
I think he thought he might be able to turn it over with a bit of side, but I don't think so.
Yeah, he doesn't look convinced. Maybe trying to convince himself. Sometimes it just depends. What can he do with a cue ball on the back of the swerve? I don't think anything. So batten down the hatches for the time being.
The champ, 42.
Ideally, in glancing off the red, he would have liked to be able to get a cannon on the black and obviously push the black closer.
One.
Yeah, he's just finding a way to come up with every answer. One more question perhaps. Can he cut this black back and get decent on a red? Because if he does, it should go a long way to securing the end of this match. Not this time though. Jack Lisowski comes to the table with a golden chance.
One of those instances where you'd rather be 44 behind with this chance. Again.
One.
Particularly now. No balls in safe positions.
Yeah, now what has Jack got left? Got to steel himself here, because on the practice table this is an eyes shut job, isn't it? You know, you just brush them in, look at them and they go in, but he's got to hold his concentration in the moment here. But as chances go, they don't come any better. But it is a different ball game literally when every shot is potentially going to be your last.
$15. 16.
Yeah, just purely concentrate now. Just literally one shot at a time. Not get ahead of yourself. Very easy in this position to mentally
22.
give yourself the clearance. Okay, now it's 5-4. I could go on and win this. And
23.
before you know it, you've either missed a pot or just went out of position. As you said, he should clear up. The only reason he won't is just pure concentration, getting ahead of himself.
Yeah, just before he gets to the absolute business end of this clearance. Just to tell you, John Higgins has prevailed on the other side of the arena. He led Kyron Wilson 3-0.
29.
Kyron came back to 3-all, but John has won 3 on the spin again to seal a brilliant win, actually. And he moves into the quarter-finals in a couple of days' time. John Higgins will await the winner of the feature match tonight in Shanghai between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Ali Carter.
37. $38.
Yes, cue ball has been excellent in this potential clearance. Yes,
44.
the Reds were in the absolute plumb position where you want them, but concentration has been good.
45.
Cue ball control has been excellent. And it should be 5-4, let's be honest.
$50. 52. $55. 59.
15 ahead, just this blue.
64.
It's just
7.
nice and easy to take your time.
Judges. 77 in the frame.
Yeah, beautiful 77 break there from Jack Lisowski.
Off we go then. A possible 2 frames to come. The match on the other side of the arena, as said, John Higgins has prevailed 6-3 against Kyron Wilson. So they have the Grand Stage Auditorium in Shanghai all to themselves to the end of this match.
One.
Another encouraging sign for Jack there, putting that.
Get himself to 1. Foul and a miss. Check yourself for 6. 1. Three. Four.
Yeah, just thinking about which way to pull the trigger as far as the pack of reds go. Gotta get them into play obviously sooner than later.
11.
Just glancing up table, so perhaps it's above the blue line.
Twelve.
Just have a look at the pink red, the possible plant to right corner. I think it's on because he doesn't look overly concerned about it. So into the face of the pink. Is this going to be his time? He's been a wee bit unfortunate a couple of times today going into reds, but will it turn here? Yeah, not exactly what he was after.
17. Check itself is 17. One.
Poor shot there from Judd. Badly overhit that. Would have been fully expected to be on out of the blue or one of the ball colours.
Just jump 1.
At least adds to a little bit of frustration. Certainly the last frame looked like he was going to win it 6-3. The red at the bottom of the packet, he'd normally try and play into the right corner as a shot to nothing. I was just a bit fearful in playing that. He'd collide with the red, close to the left-hand side cushion.
One.
Played it very well.
Yeah, fabulous pot. It's good also that he's taken so much time over certain tricky safety shots like that, almost recognising the importance of the moment. He's got the momentum. Got to try and ride that wave as long as he can. Natural angle here to drop on a red. Brilliant shot again. He's the man in control of this match at the moment, you got to say that.
5.
Yes, he's got to win 4 in the spin from 5-2 down, but at the moment, he's keeping Judd at bay, and he ain't missing much himself.
6.
Just potted it on the thick side, didn't he? Perhaps the middle of the pocket, the cue ball might have been an inch or two further away from the black, still just about on it. Yeah, that's a golden nudge, isn't it? That's absolutely perfect on the yellow if he wants to disturb the bunch.
Yeah, it doesn't have to play it with any great power. As you said, just disturb them. Looking at the possibility maybe coming across the table to be low on the red at the bottom of the 5. It's probably a greater percentage or bigger target to go into that cluster. If you feel any disturbance of the 5 reds, he'll be on one of them. And those kind of shots, actually, the harder he hit it, the less accurate we were going to be. Didn't need to be hard. It wasn't like a big pack you had to split. Quite a big target really to hit.
Yeah, it was. It was player of Jack's class was big favourite to get contact. You know, I always like to play that shot. Every player's different. I always like to play it almost to miss the pink spot low. You know that thing, because the pink spot's always where it has been, and obviously, but you know, you take reference points and did you ever?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I think we all did as players, didn't we? Yeah. In our own way. So it's quite a nice thought process, isn't it? That's I'm just going to miss the pink spot low, and then the bunch get in the way.
Yeah, there's much greater clarity. You're being real specific.
16.
Otherwise, a cluster like that size, which red are you going to hit? You can get a little muddled, but it's by being specific. It's like your brain straight away understands, oh, the pink below its spot. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, just low the pink spot. Yeah. So the pack's not even a thing.
Yeah.
Then.
You're playing for them, and if you're a fraction off, you're still going to hit one or two of the other reds.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that Jack did it the wrong way. It's not, you know, it's just thought processes differ, don't they? Has he got a plant here, though? He's certainly interested in it. 39 in front, and it goes.
1.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate with a kiss this time, so.
Yeah, he's a bit disappointed he's not on one of the ball colours, but still in plenty control. Either put another colour safe or roll up to him. Again, so 40 ahead, and also has the insurance of that red on the left-hand side cushion.
Come on then, Fergal, what do you do here? Colour safe or tickle behind yellow?
Colour safe.
Yourself to 1.
He knows every move in the book, this guy. Yeah, I think it was clever with the brown as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Clever little move. Small details again. Go a long way.
There's a very good shot there.
Foul.
Still got it off the cushion.
4.
Yeah,
4 points is no harm.
strangely, he might not be that disappointed to see the brown go in, because if it stays over the pocket and Jack knocks this red in, he's guaranteed on the brown. So it wasn't a terrible result. Now, for the first time in a while, Judd's got something to go at. Was not good.
Yeah, missed badly. Still looks calm enough, Judd, in his chair there, but the miss and how he missed it was a tell of anxiety.
1.这个里头是 1。
Bit of anxiety playing that as well. Tried to steer the last inch or two in.
Yes, he also was one of those, if he overcuts it, he loses the cue ball. It just kind of almost half played on his mind, didn't it? But it wasn't a sitter, but...
Yeah, kind of shot, if you are going to miss it, you would miss it thick.
Yeah. Okay, now, never say never with this guy. You're capable of all sorts, but...
7.
All right, power stun here. Push the red out, the one near the left middle. Didn't quite manage it. Perhaps it wasn't on, but... I was going to say never. As far as winning the frame at this visit, that's beyond even Judd's wildest dreams, but try and somehow get back into it. Even boil it down to the last red, something like that, it would take, I would imagine.
13. 14.
I think there's value here in almost a cannon on the green.
Yeah, again, that also helps you play the shot, even if you didn't get the cannon on the green.
Yeah, I thought there was value. It also added to the fact that if you don't land on the red down the cushion, which is horrible, you've got the double,
18.
the other red, from that green area. So he missed a wee bit of a trick there.
Yeah, because even if you gently nudged the green away from the cushion, he was probably just going to put in the red. No guarantee of position.
Good job. 18.
Seemed to get a little bit distracted there, not just the double, wanted the Hollywood shot to get the black out as well.
Yeah, utter greed. Oh, that was difficult, wasn't it?
Showed the value of the selection Jack made earlier by putting the green safe.
One.
Careless shot from Jack there. There's no way Judd should have had a chance of a pot. Again, option here to play the cannon on the green. Again, the red, even if he rolls it in this time, we're having the black over the pocket. It's a lot more appealing.
7. Eight.
Yeah, it's a huge ask to win the frame at this visit, but it's now going to be all about that green. Yeah, he's not going to be bringing the green into play, so it's about getting
15.
a decent blow in. First blow in this safety exchange that's about to get underway.
Yeah, you can see him just looking to find out exactly where he wants the white to be to make the green safety shot as easy as possible. Of course, the
17.
4 colours right on their spots in the middle of the table. Every opportunity to get a snooker. It's quite a big target. Again, first priority here is obviously make sure that the green goes safe, and as a bonus, try and get the snooker.
That's all. 17.
Bit disappointed. Could have played a bit better. Could have greater control of the white. And those kind of safety shots, you try and leave the object ball on one side of the table, the white ball on the other.
Yeah, there's the mistake then. Jack does need the blue, so cue ball still all important with a shot. Needs a bounce. Just about. A hint of an angle on the brown, double check, so brown and blue for a decider. It's a formality now. The look of a worried man. Trump there, and the blue is dispatched, so barring a snooker. So I don't think we're going to see. It's a decider. And the pink confirms it. So Jack Lisowski from 5-2 behind has dug his heels in, and he's playing quite beautifully. He's hung tough the last few frames, and he's got his reward. It's a decider on the way. It's 5 frames all. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, of course, we're talking about Judd's form in Germany. Of course, John also got to the semi-finals.
Last round. That's how to break.
Yeah. So, it's the crucial decider. Jack Lisowski has spent the vast majority of this tournament so far trailing. He hasn't been in front in this match. He trailed 4-1 against Zhou Yulong yesterday. Can he somehow survive again and get the job done? On the evidence of what we've seen in the last 3 frames, he's certainly capable. His application's been fantastic, isn't it? The way he's, as he dug his heels in just exactly when he had to.
Yeah, very good. When you think he could come. Yesterday, he came back from 4-1 down to win 6-5. Today, he might win from 5-2 down against 6-5, but that just puts him in the quarterfinals. As a reward, he might have Mark Selby.
Yeah, thanks. Tough school. It's the way of it these days, though, isn't it? You know, you looking back a few weeks, Judd was 4-0 down, first to 5, got the job done against Chris Wakelin in Nuremberg. Never discount these guys because they're made of stern stuff. Good at all the fancy shots and all the exhibition shots and all that, but back to the wall, you know how to produce the goods.
One.
Played 3 deciding frame matches before. Jack leads 2-1. Not that that's any great importance at that stage, but at this stage, sorry. But yeah, Judd trumped in with first half chance. I wonder if he's got eyes here of playing the red and into the bunch off the open red. It's an option, especially where the blue is. Few options. Oh wow.
Jack trump 1.
For Judd, it seemed to take an awful long time there. It seemed like he was looking for problems or certainly making a bigger deal. It seemed a bit like put a colour, then from the red, then attack. Maybe just nearly distracted himself. Again, same problem for Jack here. Can he ideally get low on the black?
Yeah, I just think he's wondering, is he playing into the pack off this with the blue where it is? There might be value. Brilliant shot. Not on the black, but ooh, here we go then. This blue, can he refuse it? I don't think so.
Yeah, quite brave because the blue's close to the pocket, but it's missable, particularly from distance.
Oh, is the brown going to spoil it? It has, you know.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
6.
Brave red, good pot on the blue. Again, you just pot on the blue, just give me any shot on any red. And you could not predict that the brown would come in that way. Very smile there. And at first glance, not the easiest safety shot in the world either. Probably looking to bring his white ball back the same path. Maybe looking at the red to the left of the black. Play it as a shot to nothing. Probably need a little bit of side to avoid the red and brown that are close to the pocket.
Seven.
A beautiful shot. He knew he was a bit concerned if he went full committed to the shot to nothing that he maybe hit the brown, but potted beautifully. Again, one good pot, one good position play away from having a proper chance. Is he tempted by the brown?
Yeah, we both.
I don't think he should.
Yeah, exactly. The green is 1,000,000% is the less missable ball.
Yeah, even the yellow
of the two, and the yellow. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, Fergal. I think of the three, this is the more missable. Oh. Slow down. He's played it absolutely beautifully, hasn't he? What a shot.
Yeah, I'm glad he couldn't hear us.
Yeah, but a sign of supreme confidence almost.
Yeah, fantastic. So we were going with the percentage way, trying to break it down. Just pot something, keep it going. But he wanted to nearly solve the puzzle in one shot. And similar to yesterday in the decider, when he had a decision to make, he played the brave shot. He played it the right shot, the right way, fully committed.
19. Punch.
Just like it looked like when he had himself ideal. Just too much power. Again, this is difficult black.
Yeah, this is what's known as the Sean O'Sullivan black. Oh, what a pot that is. Yeah, Sean O'Sullivan potted that as a right-hander. He needed it with the rest. It was a number of weeks ago on a maximum. It was what was it, the 14th black or something, the 15th black. And it went, but that was with his own hand. But under the circumstances, it was equally as good, wasn't it?
Absolutely. It looked like it was stretching. It seemed to cue it actually quite quickly, but great shot.
Well, he looks interested in the pink. Yeah, he's on it. Wind in his sails. Confidence running through his veins. I've got to say, at the moment, he doesn't look like missing, Jack Lisowski. His composure, amongst other things, has been outstanding in his last 2 or 3 frames.
34.
Yeah, it's a kind of match where if Judd was to lose, he'd be back in his hotel room going, what happened there? There hasn't been one distinct
35.
or clear chance to win it that we can look back and say, just seemed to have slipped. Partly he's dipped slightly, but also Jack has made the most of his chances. And in this frame and from 5-2 down, he's fully deserved this chance and earned the right.
42.
After this red, I'm not sure if the other red below the pack is available.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Just considering whether to play a brush cannon off the bunch this time round. Yeah, he's playing it. As it was, his cue ball needs the pink.
43.
A wee bit of luck, and it's not terrible. It's not a sitter, this pink. It's one of those that you would call half blind. But again, he played the sort of winning shot, didn't he? Or potentially the winning shot, getting the reds open.
Yeah, it'd be very easy just to pot that red, make sure of it, get an angle of the blue and kind of take your chances, but brave shot, but
Check yourself. So 43.
Yeah, it wasn't a gilt-edged sitter. So what's Judd got left?
1.
It's not the worst chance in the world. Obviously 5-all, it's not easy, but you just feel there's 2 reds beside each other. They'll need to be made. Maybe a little cannon. Other than that, actually, just looking at there, I think the top red actually goes.
9.
Looks more a test of concentration and nerve rather than anything else. Again, if you're Jack, you're in your chair fearing the worst for all the good work he's done in this frame.
16. 17.
Nearly one of those matches, if he was to lose, you'd be like, oh, I wish I'd have lost 6-2.
Played that wonderfully well. It's at times like this is where you need a good temperament, not so much
24.
right now. The last 2 or 3 frames when he's not been able to stop the bleeding, he would have perhaps been sitting in the chair thinking, right, at some
25.
stage I'm going to have to go to the table and produce. That time is now. Can he do it when it absolutely matters? Because 5-2 in front, and then all of a sudden this match was slipping
32.
away. He's been given a chance to redeem all in one fell swoop.
33.
Another excellent position shot there.
40.
It's hard to see him break it down, really.
Yeah, he's been there, seen it and done it. I remember a famous match against Stephen Maguire, and was at the Players' Championship that he won 6-5 in the famous semi-final to somehow get the job done. This is not as difficult a clearance as that, but the occasion
47.
is similar. Now, it's the key shot, you would think. Ah,
48.
absolutely middled it. So, this next shot is the money shot. You get anywhere around straight on the yellow, and it's job done. Just got to control his pace. Absolutely perfect.
54.
Yellow, green, and brown. And Judd will
56.
somehow have managed to get the job done. When for most of the day it looked like he was going to ease to victory. This
59.
brown is match ball. What a performance
53.
from the former world champion and the reigning Masters champion. Jack Lisowski has fought admirably today, and he'll be back, and he's shown new strings to that bow of his. He's played beautifully to come back, and Judd Trump somehow, as I say, has managed to overcome adversity and win a thrilling deciding frame match against his good pal Jack Lisowski. They'll be good mates again tomorrow, but Judd is the one who marches on to a meeting with either Mark Selby or Hossein Vafai.